If you've always wanted big, wide, bulging shoulders that make an impression when you walk into a room, this is a video for you. What's up guys, Joey Sen here. Today we're back with the best shoulder workout created in my opinion. This is how I develop my shoulders. These are my favorite exercises for developing all three areas of the shoulder. When we say all three areas of the shoulder, we're talking about the anterior, the front deltoid, the medial, the lateral deltoid or the side deltoid, and the posterior deltoid or the rear deltoid. I'm going to show you the best ways to develop and grow all three of these muscles in this video. So I'm going to take you through a warm-up, through 2 exercises for the front deltoid, 2 exercises for the medial deltoid, and just 1 exercise for the rear deltoid, and show you how this works. The main takeaway from all these exercises is not so much the movements themselves. Some of them, in my opinion, are the best exercises for growing and developing the shoulder or that area of the shoulder. However, the main thing you need to realize is the principles behind this workout. If you understand that, you could achieve a lot of results with this workout using different exercises that have the same principles that I'm showing you today in this workout. So that being said, guys, let's talk about some of those principles. One of which is we're going to start with a power movement for the front and the side deltoid, followed by we're going to do a rhythmic movement for each of those muscles. So when I say a power movement, there's 2 types of type 2 muscle fibers in the human body. Type 2 muscle fibers are the explosive fibers that help us when we sprint, when we do a really fast movement, when we are basically going fast, when it's the opposite of going slow. So slow twitch, right, would be type 1. Fast twitch would be type 2. Think of fast twitch as football, sprinting, soccer for the explosive parts, basketball, things like that. Things that require explosive movements. Now, when you look at a sprinter's body, does he look underdeveloped musculature-wise to you? Probably not. Probably not. So a sprinter's body probably have well-developed muscles. They're using type 2 muscle fibers. Now, that being said, there are 2 different types of type 2 muscle fibers. There is type 2X, which is just that really short, the most explosive movement you can do, which only lasts a very short period of time. And there's type 2A. Type 2A is going to be a little bit longer energy system, about like 10 to 30 seconds long. And then beyond that, you're looking at type 1 muscles that you'll be using for energy. So again, type 2X and type 2A are the muscle systems we're going to focus on for the front shoulder and the side shoulder. And these are the principles that I'm telling you, right? So another principle we're going to talk about is the tempo of the movement and the kind of weight selection and reps. So as long as you realize those things and the angles, that would be the third. So we have the explosive muscles, the type 2X, type 2A, we have the rhythm and tempo, and then we have the angles. Those are the 3 things you need to pay attention to when I'm taking you through this video and I'm showing you these exercises. So before we get into the actual shoulder workout, we are going to spend time to warm up the shoulder girdle or the rotator cuff muscles, the infraspinatus, supraspinatus, and those beautiful muscles that help stabilize our shoulder so that we don't get injured and our arm can press and pull and go overhead and do all those nice things without any pain. Take time now before you work out so you don't have to take time later recovering and not training. So instead of taking 2 months to recover from an injury because you probably did an overhead press too heavy, which see my video about that, I'll link down below, about why you should not do overhead press with too heavy of a weight, I should say. Instead of doing that, let's take time now. Let's take less than 5 minutes before the workout and let's warm the shoulder up. Let's warm up our rotator cuff and let those muscles work and get used to activating. That way when we are doing heavier loads, those muscles are working properly and they're stabilizing the shoulder the way we want. So getting into the video, getting into the workout, let's talk about that warm up. We're just going to do 5-pound weights in each hand and we're going to rotate them, do external rotation here with the elbow by your side. Keep good posture as always, guys. So elbows by your side, it should be showing you in the video. Just letting those arms go out and in, out and in. Don't try to go too far. Don't try to overextend. The elbow should always be by your side here, by your external oblique, and just rotating out and in, out and in. 5-pound weights, 20 reps. You could do this without any weights in your hand. The important thing is you get those muscles activating in your rotator cuff. Next, we're just gonna take that same angle and we're gonna bring your elbows out, shoulder height. Don't shrug your shoulders, unshrug, shoulder height. You're gonna rotate those arms here like this. Stay on its axis. So if there's a line here from your shoulder to your elbow, don't break that plane. Just stay on its axis and rotate this way, 90 degrees with the elbows, and rotate slowly. Again, 20 reps. Again, you may use weight, 5 pounds in this case I'm showing you. And here I'm showing you with just body weight. You can also do a body weight warm up, although I prefer to do a little bit of weight training. So guys, now we've done our warm up. We prepared our shoulder for heavier loads, for more intensity. Let's get into the workout. Let's work on getting those big, wide shoulders that we always want. Let's work on getting that X frame, that the shoulders really make a difference as far as how your body is perceived when you walk into a room or when people look at your profile, your silhouette, et cetera, bodybuilding, just general fitness, general shape, men, women, doesn't matter. If you want nice shoulders, I guarantee these exercises and these principles will really hit for you. So you'll really see some results doing these. The first one is the most critical one, my opinion, and it's going to be a dumbbell lateral raise. How exciting. But the thing you need to take away from this is the angles we're using and the intensity. So this is that type 2X intensity that I was telling you about, where we're going to go really heavy. So you can warm up with, say, some 30-pound dumbbells. In my case, that's a warm-up. So in your case, it might be a lighter set of dumbbells. Just what you consider a warm-up set you could do for 15 reps without too much issue, So that being said, I did my warm-up. I'm going to show you me doing the heavy explosive sets. I use 55-pound dumbbells on each side. Now, I do that because I can and because I can do it with relatively good form. I am going to cheat a little bit, as you can see me demonstrating here. I'm going to start here. First of all, tuck your core a little bit, which is going to stabilize your trunk. Bring your chin back, hands, palms facing the rear. You're going to go out and up. The key is to go out and up. And we are going to do the pouring water out of the jug metaphor to show you this. So some people say, don't do that. It doesn't work. It just impinges your shoulder. It works fine. Stabilize your trunk. Use good form. Don't shrug. Don't over shrug, even when you're going out and up. That's why you go out and up, not up and out. Okay? Out and up, palms facing the rear, pinkies out. Pour that water in the jug. It works fine. Use good form. Tuck your trunk. It works good. So we're going to go heavy weight. That's what we need to start that spark of the muscle to grow. So what we do is we spark the muscle and then we grow it with the rhythmic movement after. So this is the explosive movement, as you can see, and we are cheating a little bit. There's a little bit of swing going on. It's real heavy weight. This is what I found that works best to really grow muscle. We have to use heavier loads, more intense loads to grow the muscle. I've gone up to 70-pound dumbbells for this movement. I actually think I've gone up to 80 before. Do not recommend that your first try. Work your way up to it. See how heavy you can go with good form. Again, you can see the form that we're telling you, and I'm telling you how to do it. So it's real explosive. Boom, up, down. Boom, up, down. Okay, that's what I think works best for the side shoulder development. Again, that's that explosive spark we're talking about. Now let's get into the next movement, which is going to be a rhythmic movement, which is going to be a cable lateral raise. So now that we've sparked that muscle, we've told it to, hey, wake up, wake up. We want you to work. We want you to explode. We want you to perform. Now we're going to tell it we're going to add nutrients and blood to that muscle. We're going to pump it up as much as possible. Again, this is a type 2A musculature system that we're using, energy system type 2A. And this is going to be a 15 rep exercise. So that first one is going to be an 8 rep or heavier set exercise. This is going to be a much lighter set, much more rhythmic set. So 8 reps, that first one, 3 or 4 sets of 8. This next one we're going to do 3 or 4 sets of 15 is what I use. That's the example I use here. So this one, the same principle applies for your posture. Tuck the core a little bit, chin back, palm. This time your palm's going to face the side right here. And you're simply going to go out and up. So just like the dumbbell lateral raise, the key is to go out and up, not up and out. So not up and out and up. And you are going to bend your elbow a little bit here, and your wrist is going to come up, and your elbow is going to go as high as your shoulder here. So again, if it goes higher, we're starting to shrug. We don't want to shrug. We want to be right here. So here, out, up, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little more medium tempo, a little more regular tempo here. Again, we're just trying to pump blood into this lateral head. The reason why this works really well is because that little bitty cable, we're only using a little bit of weight on this cable lateral raise. It transfers all that weight and intensity into that lateral head. That's why this is so effective for working that area and for really shaping that muscle. If you can just get this muscle to pop a little bit, your shoulders are really going to pop a lot more and have a lot more width, appearance of width, and they are going to be wider, and they're going to make much more of an impression in your everyday life. So we've kind of gone through the first two movements for the lateral head. I like to start with the lateral because I feel that makes the biggest impression on your width, which is why I like to train shoulders more so. And because my front deltoids are what I would call overdeveloped, because I did years of compensating using them for my chest movements. That's a whole other video to discuss. The next movement we're going to go into is the rear deltoid. Again, like I just told you, I'm not as much about prioritizing my front delts, but I am going to give you the best I can for those. So with the rear deltoid, we are going to do a reverse pec deck movement. We're just going to pump this muscle up. We're not going to explode, just given the nature of that muscle. It's really small, but it really rounds out your shoulder really well. So we're going to do a reverse pec deck. Now the principle here is it's a rhythmic movement. It is to put blood in that muscle again and nurture that growth and nurture that in muscle, feeding the muscle the things it needs to reestablish itself in a bigger, more firm way. So the key here is we get seated on the pec deck machine. We're going to go reverse. We're going to go palms down and go out. And again, careful not to shrug. Same principle applies. Bring your chin back a little bit. Out. And you can pinch your scapula together. You can think about that. It's not so much a lower trap movement, but you're going to get some lower trap work out of this. So let's go out. And again, the key is that angle of the palms being down and going out. Okay? It's almost like a backwards chop with your arms. That's how we're going to roll with this. So that's my favorite for rear deltoid. And then again, that principle you can use on any rear deltoid movement, like a bent dumbbell lateral raise, a bent cable lateral raise, different ways to hit the rear deltoid, even a high pull. Like you're not going out, but you can bring your elbows. Anyway, so what I'm showing you here though is a reverse pec deck, as you can see. Let's get to the front deltoid, guys. Some of you have been looking forward to this all video. This is kind of what you're struggling with. Maybe I have not. But so, like I said, most people make the mistake of eventually you will go too heavy if you are really hungry for results, like a lot of us are, a lot of you are. A lot of you really want the fastest results possible. Like I'm telling you, take that time to warm up. When we do overhead press, again, I must reiterate, do not go too heavy. Check that video out down below. You will tear your rotator cuff, and you will have your arm in a sling for a couple of months if you don't listen to that advice. So we're going to use a Smith machine because it stabilizes a weight for us, and we can go really heavy and explosive without worrying about being in an unstable environment. So if we have some dumbbells in our hand and we're unstable, those could trail off and tear or sprain the muscles that we're looking at, or cause micro tears in those muscles. The wrong kind of tears that we want in that muscle that debilitate you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the Smith machine. It's a fixed track motion, and we're going to go explosive reps. We're going to go 6 to 8 reps. So we're going to warm up with about 12 reps, go to 10, 8, and 6 like that. In the video, I think I'm doing about 8 reps or so. I'll have to check. But it's an explosive movement to get that front shoulder to grow. Again, we want to start with type 2X, so real explosive, and we'll go to type 2A, which is rhythmic. This is the explosive movement. So the principles here, chin back, of course. We're going to have a slight arch in the back so we can generate a little bit of power. Again, that power position. Another video that I made about the power principle of the position your core is in your trunk when you're trying to do something powerful and explosive. So slight tuck of the core, small arch in the back, hands here by your shoulder. We're going to, there's a certain width of the bar you can find, a little bit wider than the shoulder. You're going to go right here to the chin, where the bar is chin level, and you're going to drive up, boom, and just explosive, boom, boom. So it's moving slow, but I'm thinking fast. It's moving slow, but I'm thinking fast. It's another principle you can use to get better at lifting heavier weight. So again, that angle is right here, okay, right here. Make sure the elbows are underneath, they're not behind. So we're not recruiting any chest muscle to press the shoulder. We're just going straight over the head. That's how we're going to more effectively target that front anterior deltoid. So that's the explosive movement. Let's finish up with a rhythmic movement for the front deltoid, which would be I stole this from Charles Glass, if you don't know who that is. He's one of the most famous, he's maybe the most famous bodybuilding trainer of all time. And it's an easy bar front raise. Easy bar front raise. So you're going to grab the easy bar. It's easy on your wrist if you're wondering why it's called the easy bar. And you're going to hold it right in front of you. Again, same thing, core tucked, chin back. You're going to lift it up over the eyeball level and back down. Just at medium tempo, again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Rhythmic movement type 2A, again, getting those muscle fibers to fill with blood. And also what I like about it is it helps separate your front deltoid from your chest here. So we can get proper muscular development and separation and appearance of our front deltoid. We want to have two different muscles there. So we did our explosive front, our explosive, or our medium front tempo exercise for that front deltoid. So explosive and medium, or type 2A. And those are the two movements for the front shoulder that we did. Okay guys, so to wrap it up, that's the workout that I believe will help you develop those big wide shoulders that you've always wanted. Follow the principles that I showed you. Make sure you warm up properly. Make sure you take time now before the workout so you don't have to take time later recovering. So we want to be building and growing, not recovering and rehabbing. So that's our principle we want to follow. Make sure you use the proper intensity, the proper form, proper posture. Make sure you are using the type 2A or type 2X and type 2A muscles so we get the proper stimulation in order to grow and develop those shoulders and get those big, wide, round shoulders, fully round shoulders, working all three areas so we can have that kind of physique that we want with your bodybuilder, physique athlete, trainer, just want better shoulders, period. Any of those athletes this applies to you, go out and have fun with that. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Also, what's your favorite shoulder exercise that I showed you today of the 5 workouts that we did? And what's your favorite part of the shoulder to train? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. If you guys like the video, go ahead and like it, share the video, subscribe to the channel, support the channel that way, and we'll see you guys next time.